Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson, and this is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining us on our call today. As we were doing our first rounds of breathing or rounds of gratitude before we started the recording, I couldn't believe how many things were mentioned about cleaning, putting in order. The atonement is sort of a cleansing thing, nature evolving and fixing itself, getting things done, cleanliness, putting things in order. Even the breath of life, I felt like there's a cleansing power to our breath. And so the words that came to me was cleaning house. So that can mean a lot of different things. And for you specifically, I'm sure that it's going to mean something really special today. So I'm going to set my timer for 90 seconds, and we're going to have a private silent meditation on gratitude for cleaning house. And we'll see what comes up. So 90 seconds, private silent meditation, gratitude for cleaning house. Just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. The first thing I thought of was that the process of cleaning house is messy, dirty, fatiguing, yet exhilarating. And if you're like cleaning out a closet or cleaning out a room, it's like your whole house gets messier. The whole house gets messier because you're like taking stuff from one room to the next and having to move this to be able to stack this here. And it just seems like the whole house is involved when you're doing a thorough like organizing or whatever. I have done a lot of cleaning, even in my garden. A couple of days ago, Saturday, I spent quite a bit of time out there just clearing the weeds out. I've just been letting the weeds grow with the plants as they've just been establishing themselves. And now that now that the plants are, bigger, I felt confident to go in and take some time to clear out the weeds. And it's so, you look at it and it's like such a job well done, and it makes you so happy. I also thought about like cleaning the cobwebs and just the actual, not the process so much of cleaning the house, but what happens in the process of cleaning the house, like the result of cleaning the house. And it was interesting. What came to me was just like this feeling that happens in the house that I'm cared for. And there's almost like a spirit of love and gratitude that emanates from the house. I'm sure that all of you have walked into a house that is neglected, and there's just like this sad feeling. And I don't think it is always coming from the person. We have a neighbor friend. She was just walking by yesterday and stopped by and talked to us. And I remember going into her house. I've only been in her house a couple of times, but I remember going in there, and she is the sweet, loving person, but she has this really, she has a tendency to hoard everything and to have way more stuff in her house than she really has room for. And there's this feeling when you walk in her house of neglect and just almost like a cry for help. I don't know, maybe I'm just in tune with emotions more than other people, but I know that there is a joy and a happiness and a gratitude that comes within the house and from the house when we take the time to clean it and to, do our best to make it a very lovely place to be. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Thanks, Phil.
The first thing that came to me was when the expression "clean house," and I think of like companies that clean house.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
basically cutting the fat off the top.
Mm-hmm.
They are they're basically getting rid of everything that they don't need, and so that they can kind of start afresh. And so, like, I moved, not too long ago, and I took a whole bunch of stuff to the DI. I'm like, I'm never gonna go. I had to go to the dump because you couldn't take it to the DI. so I just like threw all this stuff in my truck, and I like ran it to the dump. And then like I was still looking at things and going, you know what? I never use those. I'm never gonna wear that again. I'm never going to, like, those things are worn out. And then just kind of purging the my house, because I think that like your brain kind of keeps track of every single little thing, no matter where it is, like you're like, oh, where did they put that thing? And then you do this inventory search, and sometimes you can't find it right off the bat, but eventually your brain will like pump it out for you and say, you'll go, oh yeah, I remember where that is now. You're like, maybe a day later after it's done its inventory search, and then you're like, go find it. But the point that I want to make is that it just takes up brain space. If it's taking up physical space, it's being stored somewhere, and it's being stored somewhere in your brain too. So just cut it, let it go, let it fall away, cut the fat off. That's what I guess came to.
Well, I love that, that I hadn't really considered that, but you're right. If we don't know how to find something, or if we've got this disorganized system of if stuff is stored like where it's not really natural for you to go immediately, then it does take up brain space. I have to remember where this is because it's not like the normal place that I would think of to go for this. And just like with companies or any business, especially if we're going to have easy flow, we talked about yesterday about being in the flow of abundance, right? And that easy flow that happens can only happen if there is a consistent system that allows us to free up that brain space to be inspired, to be able to serve people, to focus on growth or whatever it is that we need to do to increase that flow of abundance. So it really makes sense to clean house, to discard the things, kind of purge, cut out the things that are no longer serving or have not served for 20 years. And we've been holding on to it thinking maybe someday just in case. But yeah, to really live in the present, we only keep the things that are useful or bring really super good memories or feelings or whatever. We definitely want to keep those things that are sentimental and just feel really increase our spirits. But yeah, to allow ourselves to free up our brain space by organizing, getting rid of those things that are no longer serving. Awesome. Thank you. Who else?
I'd like to share.
Thanks, Penny.
Uh-huh. So Phil, I really love that brain space thing. I've been dealing with a lot of brain squirrels lately, trying to take up that space. And this morning doing some writing to clean out the fear. And the thing as I listened to you talking about abundance, there was a money fear that I was cleaning out, and realizing that as I grip this fear, it keeps me in scarcity. But as I let go, I can relax and come into the flow of abundance.
I love that. That's beautiful. How freeing, and how, just I feel like I can breathe more when I think about that. Just writing, getting those limiting beliefs out and processing through them so that we can let go of that fear and just relax into abundance. Thank you. Who else?
I'll share.
Thanks, Kathy.
I was just thinking about how nice it is when you get help cleaning the house. I remember when my kids were little, and sometimes I'd get them to help me, but sometimes it was just nice when they were in bed and I could clean the house and just feel my space being the way it needed to be. But what was really awesome this last weekend, my son came down Saturday and helped my husband, and mostly the two of them, cleaned out the garage and then did some yard work to clean up some trees. And it was just really nice to have him come down and have that help. And then he thanked me for being available to help with some of the decisions of what to keep, what to get, and completely filled our garbage bin and a whole nother pile of stuff ready to go in when it's emptied. So just being able to get rid of things. It's difficult for me a lot of times to decide, well, what do you do with something that still has a purpose? And it's just like, I was just letting them let it go. And it was just really nice to have help to do that.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. I know I talk in my book about, and I think it's in the Gateway of Abundance, I talk about letting go of some things. If you've got 2 vacuum cleaners and you only need one, you can take that second vacuum cleaner to someone who doesn't have any. And, sometimes we don't see the results of that if we take it to a secondhand store or something and somebody purchased it for a lot lower price that maybe couldn't afford a brand new vacuum cleaner, that the gratitude that they must feel for your generosity of being able to let go of something that wasn't really needed. And I think there's a lot of power in that, of passing on the things that are still useful. A lot of times we hold on to things, well, this is still useful, it's still of value, so I don't want to let go of it. Well, that's the exact reason why you should let go of it. If you've already got enough for yourself, it's like, allowing that abundance to be shared. That's what creates more of that flow of abundance, and not just abundance for yourself, but abundance for other people. We're not all multimillionaires that can be philanthropists, to give millions of dollars to charity, but I can give my extra vacuum cleaner to the secondhand store, and to someone who receives that gratefully, that's just as, I mean, I can just imagine the look on somebody's face and the excitement and the joy that they feel in their hearts that, wow, we were able to find this at, such a deal, and didn't, we're able to reserve our funds for other things that possibly, are keeping them in their home or something. It's just as powerful as giving millions of dollars to a humanitarian effort, in my book. Thank you. Who else?
Just to add to that, the thought that came to me is let our things flow in abundance is kind of what we've been talking about. And that trusting that the resources we need come in a moment we need them. And that's my thought.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you shared that, because that's exactly, kind of what this is all about, is allowing yourself to discard or give away or get rid of, cut the fat, whatever, get rid of the things that are not, I feel like, it's really a lesson in living in the present. and having trust that you are enough, that whatever is needed in the moment, you'll either have it, or that God will provide a way for you to have it in exactly the time that you need it. And that takes a lot of faith and trust. And when you think about like people that grew up in the Depression era, they were really had a hard time letting go of things. Even if they were broken, they would try to hold on to it just in case, maybe I can make this work or whatever. And there was a lot of just like excess stuff sitting around, but it was because they didn't trust that in the years to come they would have the money to be able to do it. And if we bring about, with the law of attraction, everything that we really put focus on, then what is that creating? It's creating a sense of lack through not just right in the now, but in the future. Thank you.
I had one more thing to add.
Let's go Tyree and then Mandy.
I don't know if you will understand the connection that I'm trying to make, but let me try anyway. So I was listening to a book called Unschooled, and it's talking about how our school system is designed to squash people's curiosity and natural gifts, and that doesn't always happen, but it often happens. And how she gave an example of these kids at a beach, and her kids, which are unschooled, were just having delight in discovering and learning. And then a group of kids came from the school, and they had a worksheet, and this one girl found this crab that she loved, and she was sharing it with her friend, and her friend said, "Oh, that's not on the worksheet." And so then they both just left. And how when we clean house in mentally, like in all areas, which you've talked about, and also clean house in things that are not working in the way that things have been set up, then it frees us and it opens us up to new ways of looking at things and new ways for us to really live in our genius.
Wow, beautiful. I can definitely see how you're seeing the connection there, and just the freedom that that is allowed when we kind of clean house of all of those expectations, or social expectations, or these rules. On our last mastermind call, we called it fictitious rules or fictitious laws. That's what we called it. And wow, interesting. Thank you so much, Tyree. That brings in another aspect of it. Mandy.
Yeah, so something I've been working on is going through the stuff that I have, and I've been asking a couple questions. One, we've learned about, does it bring me joy? So I look at, does this item bring me joy? And if the next step that I'll ask myself is, does it want to help me launch into where I want to be in the future? And then I'll even ask, does it raise my energy vibration? If it doesn't match all those three areas and help me launch into the next, what I want to become, and the things that I want to support me in a higher energy vibration, then I get to greatly, let go of it. Awesome. And it's been really helpful, and like pulling things out of areas where I've been hiding them. I'm like, oh, put it up at the top of my closet. And it's like, nope, no more hiding. Everything comes out, and you get to play with everything you have. And do you want it or not? It's been really
awesome. Cool. Oh, I have fallen into that trap. Well, I'll just put it up here where I don't see it. I'll box it up and stick it in the garage. That's so ridiculous, isn't it? And I love that idea. What I pulled out of that is, does this launch me to who I want to become? Because, we all have that kind of vision of where we're going, and we have to become a different person, and we have to surround ourselves with different people, different things, different, resources, whatever, to become that person. And I know my daughter has been experiencing this. She's kind of been cleaning house within her own self over this past, I would say, 6 months, has been a really good experience of her cleaning house. I mean, she's kept her room cleaner, she's done her laundry, but she's also been rewriting her new beliefs about herself. And I've noticed that she's ordered a lot of stuff online, like new pajamas even. And she told me the other day, she came out in a new pair of pajamas and she's like, I just want everything in my life to be exactly like really project an image of who I am. She didn't use those exact words, but that's what I was hearing from her, is she only wants things. She even got rid of the makeup brushes that she had because they didn't fit her personality. She got these makeup brushes that have fishtails, like mermaid tails on the bottom, and they're pink and blue. And that was more her personality than just a black makeup brush with black bristles. So there's just really a lot of power, I think, in cleaning house, not holding on to stuff just because it's still useful, but to only keep those things that, like you said, bring joy, and also that launch you into the future you that you're wanting to become. And, you know, we can't all like go through and completely get rid of all the furniture and, you know, everything. But I think that might be a good exercise sometime, just to walk through the house and, you know, write down the things that really bring that joy to you. And if there's something that doesn't, set up, you know, an intention, because intentions are really powerful. They can create something. You can just allow something to come into your life. Set an intention that that thing gets to be discarded as soon as there's a replacement, and have an intention that that replacement is coming to you. Thank you. Lots of really great ideas. Let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process, because we are getting close to the end of our time. If you have other thoughts that you'd like to share, make sure after the call you go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, share there, because we would love to continue this discussion. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And in this permission process, I want to invite us to really create an open space. So take another deep breath, allow your lungs to really expand all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. Feel your diaphragm opening up. And take one more, allow that breath to release. And as you're breathing in this time, I invite you to be open to know what are some limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to just in case you need them. Limiting beliefs that have kept you safe in the past, but now in this new space of cleaning house, of breathing in deeply, allowing more space to create, freeing up your mind to be able to function in other ways, creating systems as you're in this mode of change, that these limiting beliefs are no longer serving you. Allow yourself to take a deep breath and to become aware of the limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to in case you needed them, but the new place you're going, they are totally foreign and they will not serve you. And just allow them to come to you. You don't even really need to go digging, because they're just going to automatically come to the surface, and they'll come to your consciousness. Just write those down. And first of all, let's take a moment and just express gratitude for these limiting beliefs, because at one point, these limiting beliefs were serving us. We took them on as truth because they helped to keep us safe. And maybe it was just an illusion of safety. Maybe it was a physical safety. And whatever it is, just express gratitude that these limiting beliefs were available and useful to you at one time. And also know that it's time, because these came to the surface in this meditative practice right here today. We know that these are ready to be let go of. That it's time to let them go. And as you are becoming more aware of these limiting beliefs and what they have meant to you in the past, the positive things that they meant to you in the past. Also be aware of the way that they are now not serving you and what the cost of keeping them is. You know, as we've talked about, if you have more than enough, or if you have extra that could be utilized by other people, or holding on to something that does not serve the future you that you're building, what is the cost if you do hold on to these limiting beliefs? And if you are ready to give yourself permission to let that limiting belief go, say yes.
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 Awesome. And now that you're ready to let that limiting belief go, I invite you to just envision yourself picking those limiting beliefs up however it feels right to you, and taking it somewhere that is outside of you, not to bury it or store it or hide it away for no one to see, but to give it back to the universe to be used in the best way possible. Maybe there's somebody out there who this limiting belief would actually help keep them safe. Possibly there is a child in an abusive situation that needs a safety mechanism to be able to keep them alive until they grow to maturity and are able to handle not having that limiting belief anymore. And we can trust that everything will happen in its perfect way. Maybe this limiting belief is not useful to anyone, and God can use it to build upon the earth. He can add it to a rock and create more solid stability within that rock. However God chooses to use that, once it's given back to the universe, that's not ours, it's His. And we know that He will use it for the best purpose possible. So I invite you to trust and have faith that that limiting belief that you are donating to the universe, you're allowing it to be released from your life and used in some positive way. Just trust and have faith that God has the ability to do that. And now that you have let go of that limiting belief, we need to replace it with something positive, something new that will fit with the new person that you're becoming, that will really bring joy to your life, that will allow a new system to be an autopilot that is run by these new beliefs, that will allow you to free up brain space, imagination space. It will free up your imagination to be able to experience the world more fully. What are the new beliefs that will empower you and allow you to really enjoy life and to be free of all of these burdens that you've had in the past? 2 or 3 new beliefs to replace those old limiting beliefs. And with these new beliefs, just as we had breathed in very deeply to create some space, let's actually breathe these new beliefs in, take them in with your breath, fill that space up, put a smile on your face, and just feel the exhilaration of a clean house. You've cleaned house, and now you get to live in this beautiful, pristine, pure, clear space where all things are possible. Lots of really positive energy. Bring all that positive energy with these new beliefs into your body, and just feel the change, the physical change that's happening within your cells of your body. You're actually becoming more of the person that you were meant to be. And as this new person moving forward, there's one thing that you could do today that would really anchor in this becoming this new person. And as you're allowing yourself to really settle into the new person that you're becoming, what is the one most important thing that you can do today to really anchor in and give evidence of these new beliefs and the new person that you're becoming. What's your inspired shortcut today to getting on the fastest path to becoming the best you? We have time for probably a couple of quick shares. I want to just invite anybody that is struggling in this area at all to reach out to me. Go to askwylene.com and you can schedule a 15-minute call with me. That's just a free gift that I offer, and I would love to help you clean house if you're struggling with this. Askwylene.com is how you get to my calendar. Who has something they would like to share about their experience today?
I'll share.
I'd love to share.
Okay, we got Melissa and then Phil.
So I was late to the call because I was cleaning. So I just think that's really ironic. And my living belief has been that I can't do it all alone. It's just too hard. My kids are little. I'm cleaning one room and they're messing up another. And so I hired a house cleaner to come today, and that's why I'm frantically picking everything up so that the house cleaner can actually clean. And I just, I felt like there was some guilt, like, oh, I should be able to do this on my own. But listening to your meditation really empowered me with that decision, because I know that my resources are being put in the right place, that it's freeing up my time by hiring someone. And the house cleaner that I hired was so excited to come and clean my house because it's her thing. That's what she does. That's what that's her gift in life is, to be able to clean well and fast. And that's not my gift. And so I just felt kind of a synergy with this house cleaner that hasn't come yet, that we're working together and that I'm paying her. So she's getting, money for what she's doing, and I'm getting my time back and my sanity. And it just feels like such a beautiful relationship. So I really appreciate coming into this call when I did.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much, Melissa. And we already talked about the gateway of abundance earlier, and what you're sharing is the gateway of charity, the very next gateway. Once you step into a place of abundance, you can easily share your resources with other people and help create that synergistic effect. The gift of charity is, seeing others through the eyes of Christ. And you're seeing this house cleaner for her gifts and allowing her to step up and fulfill her mission and purpose. And at the same time, you are freeing yourself up to fulfill your mission and purpose as well. Thank you so much, Melissa. Phil.
Okay, so what came up for me is that, like, my limiting belief is that if I need to hold on to things that were me at one time so that I can remember, but that my new belief is that I am evergreen new. And when I let go, I make more room for something else, and I get to uncover and establish my identity with my new choices. So.
Oh, I love that. Establishing your new identity. I love that. And, I had in my daily GPS not too long ago, probably a week or 2 weeks ago, maybe at the most, I had this sense of the cleansing power of Christ, and that his cleansing power allows us to forget. And I just felt that come back to me as you were talking about holding on to things to remember, and how much more powerful and freeing it is to be able to forget and to just move on and be that evergreen new every day. Who am I today? Who do I want to become? And always forward thinking and allowing the past to be full of beautiful lessons. And if those things need to come back to us, if we do need to remember, also trusting and have faith that God's going to bring those to our remembrance. that we'll be able to have those in the perfect time, but we don't have to keep having brain space taken up, and just the power of forgetting.
So I never told you what my action step is.
Okay.
And that is to purge some of my old me clothes and go buy some new me clothes.
Nice.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
I love it. Yeah, that's super exciting. Love that. Oh, we are at the end of our time. I would love to hear your thoughts to read your thoughts on the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. This has been a powerful call. I know there's going to be a lot of cleaning house going on today, whatever that means to you, and excited for what you get to create, what you're creating space for. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.